Hey, hey, crafters, gather round. It's the best live show in town. Grab your glue and glitter pot, 'cause it's nearly craft o'clock. Get comfy, share the love. Trim your paper, clear your space. Find that ribbon, take your place. Tag your ferns and spread the word. The craftiest chat you've ever heard. It's almost craft o'clock. Grab your brew, don't miss your spot. We're counting down, we're set to rock. It's almost craft o'clock. We've got sparkle stamps and glue. Maybe a giveaway just for you. Share that link, let's make it trend. The crafty fun will never end. It's paper, paint, and a little chat. Add and find, imagine that. Get your comments ready to rock. We're so close now. Craft o'clock. It's almost craft o'clock. But the countdown's nearly done. In just a moment we'll be live. So come on, everyone. Get those emojis ready. Clap your hands and cheer out loud. Craft o'clock's gonna wow the crowd. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Get your comments ready. We're going live. 4, 3, 2, 1, let's rock. It's Craft o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
With Adam on the clock.
Right, let's stop that. Stop, band, stop. I'm running late as it is. I just realised it was 2 minutes over. I'm not going to lie, I was gossiping again. This is what I do. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I hope you're all good, and I hope you're all well. Someone let me know you can hear and see me. I know you can see me, because I got that bit. The hear bit, I don't know. So if someone can let me know if they can just see and hear, and we will kickstart the show. It's a good one today. Another good one. We've had a good week this week. A good little week. It's just me in the studio on my own, which is a rarity these days. A big rarity that I'm here on my own. But I am. We have got a special guest that's waiting in the wings. I will just wait till someone tells me they can hear me, and then we will... perfect sound. Get in there. Love it. Right then, let's kick everything off. Now, I'm going to throw this out early. Okay, and then we'll get Carla in. Carla is here. She's going to show us loads of techniques. We're sort of going to link on from yesterday is where we're going to go with this one. Before we do that, I've put it out on socials already. I'm a very proud dad today. Very, very proud dad. I bombed it from here last night all the way to the O2. So I was in London last night, bigging it up at the O2, where the likes of Take That, Lady Gaga, Jason Derulo, all the big names have performed. And then last night, Molly Mucci, my very own little mole, that's all I'm going to say about this, but I'm very, very proud, sang with nearly, I think it was 8,960 kids last night. Sang their little hearts out. I've put it all on socials. Adam Humphries Live. I put a video and I put a photo last night as we were leaving the O2. It was phenomenal. Genuinely phenomenal. It really, really was. But go and check it out on my socials. If you don't follow already, go and do all of that. Right, let's bring the lady in herself. She's waiting in the wings. I hope this works. I'm using a different computer today. So let's bring her in. Here she is, live from her home. Yes, we are going live. It's like through the keyhole. Who lives in a house like this? Carla, it's over to you. Here she is, everyone.
First time I've ever been called a lady, Adam Humphries.
Where? How are you, lovely?
Very good. Are you all right?
I'm very well. Bit tired, not going to lie.
What time did you get back?
We got back at 1:45.
Wowzers. And what time did you set off this morning?
Well, I was staying at my parents, so I was up for. I woke up at what time did I wake up? About 7.
It's not too bad. At least you've
It's
had
not
some.
too bad, but then I've got the long drive home after this.
Luckily, you'll never have menopause, and when you have menopause, you only sleep for about 3 hours anyway, so it's all good.
Oh, that's all right then. All is good.
Very good night's sleep.
All is good. Carly's here for. First of all, you're here for 2 reasons,
Okay.
and I like both of the reasons.
Do you mean
First
generally
reason.
in life?
Say again.
Do you mean generally in life or here?
Oh no, here on Craft O'Clock. You're here to promote Cut by Hand, which is coming up later this month.
Yes.
With exciting stuff on that show. And I like what you've done here. You've used initiative, and this is what we like on Craft O'Clock, initiative.
So we don't go into a panic.
We're sort of going to keep on the theme of what we were talking about yesterday, which I like.
Yeah, well, I was listening to you yesterday when you were talking to Sharon, and there was a whole statement in there about, oh, I don't like oil pastels. They sound very scary. And I was like, yeah, no, dude, like let's knock that out of the park. And then I happened to go onto the Hobby Maker website this morning, and they've got oil pastels on for a stupid price. And I was like, well, do you know what? We can link, or you can link all of those things. Also, if it doesn't look like I'm looking at the camera, it's because my camera is there and Adam.
Yeah, but I'm over there.
Screen, so it might look like I'm off. So I do apologize to you all. But there you go. Yeah, the cut by hand thing, I'm not really promoting cut by hand too much. I'm not on until the 31st with it. I have done a hare, and I think that's what we're going to be going with for the template pack. He's cute, but I'm not 100% yet.
Okay.
Shall I tell you a little secret?
Go on. I love a secret.
Okay. So the reason it might not be the hare, and I think it probably will be, but it might not be. I have designed, and I'm currently having made
a
brand new crafting tool.
Oh.
So it depends whether it gets me in time for that show or whether that one will be the February show.
For all your quilling needs?
Not for quilling.
Not for quilling, another tool. Oh, I love a tool.
And it's a tool that everybody will use and everybody needs. Like literally, I can't understand why it doesn't exist, which is why I made it.
Loving it. Loving it. So let's look. Oh, first of all, let's put the QR code on the screen. Let's do that. This laptop's really throwing me today. Let's put the QR code on the screen. So top corner, just up here, you will find the Himi paints from yesterday that we had with Sharon, and you will find the watercolor, you'll find the pastels that we're going to talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
I want to let into a little secret. I'm going to show you this message. I don't know if I'm allowed to show you this message, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'll come close to the camera so you can see it. They're going to go back up in price. If I hide that bit, this is from Kat this morning.
They should not be that cheap. RRP is $9.65, and they will be going back up to that tomorrow. 58 exclamation mark. So obviously they've discovered that there's a mistake on the website.
Massive mistake on the website. So
that.
that's the message that I got this morning. So I got that message this morning going, yeah, you can have them for today, Adam, but that's about it. That's the last time you're going to get them at that price.
When I went onto the website, I was like, why are they so cheap? Like, we're talking really, really low cost here. And I was like, well, if they're that price, well, we'll use them anyway, because I was going to talk about them anyway. And so I messaged Adam this morning and said, I'll be talking about these. Can you have a look? And then he came back, and when we were like having the pre-meeting here, he was like, they're not going to keep it at that price. I think there's an error somewhere. And I was like, well, listen, let's use and abuse that while we can. So,
there is and I mean a massive error. Kat was like, I don't think we're going to do this. And you see the message and that's not one of these messages that we just sent. That is a message that we got. So the actual price you're going to pay today is £4.70.
which is stupid. They're Sakura as well. So it's not like it's some kind of, off the hit kind of brand. It's Sakura. Like
it's a big name.
Big name. It's a really good brand. So if you can get those for what is it, $4.75?
$4.70. Bang on.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. You're getting 12 amazing oil pastels from one of the biggest brands in the art.
I'm going to throw it out there as well. That is also cheaper, and we're not really allowed to use that word. That's cheaper than your P&P.
I know, right?
So if you're going to buy anything else today from the channel, I would also throw these in as well. I genuinely would throw them in. £4.70.
Put them in your basket. And if you don't buy anything else today and you think, well, I don't really want them, then just take them out your basket. No harm, no foul, right? But when they're sitting at that price, you might be sitting on the fence, and then later on you might be like, I've bought something else, and you'll see it in your basket and you'll go, do you know what, it's worth it. But I think when I show you how to use them, Kat, they should not be that cheap.
Kat's watching. She's watching.
I'm gonna have to just live with it, Kat, because if I've seen a bargain, I'm gonna jump on it. But for me, like, let's just put it this way. I'm going to show you how to use oil pastels a little bit after a tutorial that I followed, and I'll show you how easy it is. And then once you've had a go, like, I just think you'll go, oh, well, I can do that. And we're going to set Adam a challenge as well. I got the oil pastels a while back as part of on Sakura show. They are good. There you go. So
what, hang on, wind this back. Why? What do you mean we're setting Adam a challenge? Let's cross that bridge before we go to any other camera shot. What do we mean? It's me that picks the challenges here.
No, bad boy. Because yesterday you were sitting there going, you know, oil pastels, they're so scary, they're this, that, and the other. And I'm sitting there going, no, they're not. Hi, Helen. No, they're not at all. So my challenge to you is this. And it's not even a challenge as in I'm saying you get to accept it. You have to do it.
Okay.
It's a no two-way. So on one of your late night crafter clocks, preferably sooner than later, okay, I am going to ask you to do this.
Now, I can't tell you, I can't use the words I want to use.
That's what you're going to do on crafter clock. And it's going to look exactly like that. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Because I put that on my cup, my hand, and everyone was like, oh my God, like, you're so talented. And I was like, yeah, that wasn't talent. It's a 2-second job. Like, literally, it's not talent. Anyone can do that. It's a 2-second job.
All right, people, that's what we're going to learn today. So you're going to need your
they're quick.
You're going to need your oil pastels for £4.70. They, as Kat has said in the chat, they are going back up. I will put her message back on the screen. They should not be that cheap. She's currently in a meeting with Scott next door.
And I will say that's not hyperbole either. That's not like us going telly talk. Oh, they shouldn't.
Oh, no. They shouldn't be.
Genuinely has been a mistake. Like, I did see them this morning and think, why are they only that cost? And then I was like, well, if they are, let's use it. And I'm guessing that when they had it on a bundle, they have stayed accidentally at that cost. And because they haven't been shown again since then, they've stayed at a cost that they shouldn't be. So take advantage while you can.
Well, also, and everyone knows us by now, they know both of us, that we say it as it is, first of all. And second of all, that if it was teletalk, I wouldn't be showing you messages. Because that would stick. That's between me and Kat that I'm not meant to show them. So that was sort of a polite way of Kat telling me, look, you can have them, but you ain't having them for long, and they will go back up. Let's swap to your overhead camera then, so we can get into this, because I don't know how long this demo is going to do.
I'm going to be really brief. This is the wee hare. You might have seen him on Cut by Hand. That's the quill format we're going for. Whether I stick with him or not, I don't know. I may change him to a different design. I do love him, but there are certain quills that I don't know how to phrase this without sounding like a moron, really, but there are certain quills that I do that are for me, and because whatever headspace I'm in at the moment, and so they don't necessarily always become templates. So he might just be mine, but he might go on to be the Cut by Hand template. I don't know. We'll see how I've got to do my tax return, so that has to be done, I know, in the next week, and so that has to take priority right now.
Jennifer, I will put the QR code in the chat for you now. I will put it into the chat, Control and V. It is there, lovely. It is there. Oh no, I can't say that. I might tell you later. Okay. So, oh no, I am going to tell you. Blow it. The QR code. So for Jennifer, the QR code, Jennifer, that's on the screen, that will be on the screen in a minute. It's the same QR code that we use every day. So if you save the website, you will see the deals before I come live, because they go live at about 10 o'clock and I don't go live till 12. So if you save the website, that QR code, apart from Technique Tuesday, all the QR codes are the same. But I don't tell you that. There you go. Right, what are we up to?
So whenever you're doing any kind of art project, you're always going to put washi tape around the edges or some form of masking tape. Now, I'm going to be adding some color to this in a minute, so the picture will become much clearer. It's because the camera's trying to work on a white glare, so it'll keep going out of focus until I add some color. Now, also, just to mention that it's upside down, and I was going to try and do the tutorial upside down, but I think that might be more than my little brain can take. So I think you'll have to just cope with it being upside down, but you'll get the gist from what it is. So you're always going to masking tape the edge of it, and we're going that gives you the final reveal at the end of it. So unfortunately, you are going to have to deal with this being an upside down drawing. I'm just going to ask you to cope with that for the
No,
sake.
that's fine. We're all good.
Take
Sarah said it's lovely. The hair was lovely, and yes, it's that time of year again. Tax return day.
return day. We hate the tax return day. So, and obviously with my brain, like I should have done this months ago, but the other things are more exciting. So we're going to take a piece of washi tape. Adam, are you watching?
I'm watching. Oh, FYI, I know a very good accountant. If you need one.
Yeah, I don't even think they'd take me on. You're going to put that rough straight we'll go about a third. So you've got about a third of the image at the top here, and we're just going to put that on. Washi tape's always your best friend. I have an obsession with washi tape, so I'm not really the person to listen to. Now,
just before we move on, I'm so sorry. Just to answer this question that we've got here, it's all on webcams. We're not phones. Sorry.
It's not a phone. I would love it if it was a phone. I could just turn it around, but it is.
I've got a big setup.
It is above my head, and I would need to open the software in order to flip the image, and unfortunately that will mess the whole of the stream up.
We'll get the gist of it, and then we can maybe in post edit I can spin it around, but we all know what's going on. So where the paintbrush is, that's the bottom of the page. Yeah.
So this is the bottom, this is the top. You'll be able to see. I mean, listen, I'll try and do it upside down, and then
no, don't do it your way. Do it your way.
So where you're looking, does this look like the top of the page?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take a black oil pastel. Now, just to be absolutely clear and to be very, very open and honest, I am not using the Sakura ones here because I don't have them. So I am using my own from here, and I'm going to try and do this upside down. So bear with, because that makes it 10 times harder. Now, Adam, watch very carefully.
Okay.
Try and bring this into shot here. Black crayon, right? And I'm just going to go in. I'm using watercolor paper, and I'm using cold press. Why do we use cold press? Because cold press has a texture to it. And when we have a texture, it makes it easier to use and not to get the same pilling effect that you would get if you were using a smooth cardstock, because that's rubbing up the top of the paper off. Okay, so now nothing I'm doing here too difficult for you right now. Okay, so
no.
This. I'm just going in and I'm just coloring in black. Everyone can do that. So then I'm going to come in and I'm going to use a darkish gray, not too dark, but a darkish gray. Okay. And I'm just going to come in and I'm going to carry on that color.
Black at the top.
Black at the top, and then just gray underneath. You don't need to write this down because you'll be able to see it again, Adam, and you'll be able to completely copy it. Right, so there's nothing here.
That camera's froze again.
Why is it frozen?
No, we're back. We're back.
Okay, so that looks like a 4-year-old's done it, right? There's nothing that you can't do. Are you in agreement with me so far? All I've done is put some black and grey down. 100%?
Yeah.
Okay, take a piece of tissue paper, or what card is best for the pastels? Use a cold press watercolor. You want something with a tooth on it. So I'm using you can use kitchen roll, toilet paper, it doesn't matter. Okay, so all I'm going to do, watch very carefully, is come in at the top at the black, and I'm just going to start rubbing that. Okay, can you see how we're now getting out a smooth? Okay, the magic happens.
Yeah.
Do this. Everybody can do that, right? All I've done is pop some crayon down, and then I've rubbed it with a piece of kitchen roll. There's nobody that can't do that. Then using the grey still, I'm just the same piece of kitchen roll. I'm going to come into the grey and blend those two out together so that the line is not as dark. So I'm just getting that nice blending point here. And then I'm going to get a cleaner piece, and I'm just going to do the rest of the grey. And I'll go fairly quick. Now, obviously, when you're at home, you're going to take a few more minutes than I am. And I'm probably wobbling the camera, but we'll live with that because I'm working upside down. I've already got the world against me. We're fine. Okay. So now I've got this really, really kind of beautiful blend from black to grey. Everybody seeing that?
Yeah, we're all there.
Nothing too difficult, right? Everybody happy?
We're all good.
A white, and I'm going to come in onto my grey. And I'm just going to add a little bit of white there. And this time I'm going to use my hands to do this. So I'm just going to clean off that's there. And I'm just going to come in and I'm going to blend this. Now this will give me a more gentle blend, a softer tone, because I'm using my hand. Now the heat from your hand is going to melt that pastel. And it's going to give you a really smoothed out, beautiful texture. And you're not trying to, rewrite anything. We're just gently going into this. If you find that the dark line between your dark and your grey is too harsh, and it's not too harsh, but you might sit when you're just thinking, just keep blending it out. All right, just keep that momentum going. Nothing too tricky at all. All right, everybody happy?
We're all good.
Ready? I've got quite a nice little skyline going. Now I'm going to remove this line of washi. I've got a nice straight edge, and I'm going to put this onto that straight edge near enough there. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to take a pencil. Bear in mind, folks, I'm doing this upside down.
Do it your way if you want. We will do it your way so it's easier.
No, it's fine. And I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to draw a wobbly line. Okay. Have I done anything that you think you can't do yet?
No, I can do this so far.
Okay, so I'm only using 3 different colors of pastels. So now I'm going to come in with that dark gray again, which is the one we used at the bottom here. And I'm going to literally fill in the whole of this space.
Okay, while you fill that in, we've got some questions, well, sort of helping tips, really. Also, for paper, add clear gesso can be handy. Use it on a cold press for even more grain / texture, like that.
So if you don't know what the difference between hot press and cold press watercolor is, hot press is smooth, cold press is textured. Cold press is much more forgiving. So for people who are crafters, it is much easier to use a cold press than it is to use a hot press. Hot press is not as forgiving, but you can get much crisper lines on it. However, what we're doing here is actually rubbing the paper, and consequently to it, we are messing with the fibers of the paper. When you start to mess with the fibers of the paper, you want something that's got a little bit of a grain to it, because then if you do happen to rub some of the fibers off the top of it, it's going to forgive you for it, whereas if it's very smooth paper, ain't going to forgive you for that. So now that I've got that gray and I've colored that in, I'm just going to come in and I'm going to blend that whole thing out. Okay, so I'm just following my wave line here.
So are these oil pastels?
Yeah, just oil pastels. It's the Sakura ones that we've got on the website for less than $5 at the minute, which is nuts. I'm not using the Sakura ones, but that is the same thing. Mr. Willie Walter, keep your quietness. That's my dog in the background.
I think I've got oil pastels at home.
Yeah, most people have got them. They just don't dare use them. And I was the same. I only learned this a couple of weeks ago.
Mariam says, years ago, I used oil pastels on sandpaper, drawing a pear. It looked good.
Yeah, it will. That'll be beautiful because they kind of melt. Now, I don't have an awful lot of pigment down here, so I'm going to add some in. If you don't have a lot of pigment, you'll start to feel the kind of defiance of that watercolor paint is going to kind of restrict. You need enough of that oil to kind of spread. So just make sure that you're putting down enough pigment here.
That camera's for oh no, we're back.
Yeah, it'll have its moments. I do apologize.
No, you're fine. We're all good.
First time I've actually used it, because obviously I'm in the garage now, so it's the first time I've done something with it. So everybody happy with what we've got so far? All I've done is use 2 colors so far. Like we're not, well, 3 if you include the white. Then what we're going to do is take the black, and I'm just going to fill in that little corner edge piece here. And I'm not even being careful. That's the thing. Like, this is why it's so good for so many people to have a go with oil pastels, because I'm not being careful. I don't have to be precise. This is not me layering techniques and, doing all of that particularly, whereas where I'm doing things that are like my hyper realism, that sort of thing, then you've really got to sit and get your mind around it. Whereas this stuff, we're just playing. Literally, this is kids' play.
I like it though.
I know, right? Because there's such a benefit in producing something and having a finished product at the end of it and feeling proud of what you've made. So we're just building shapes here.
We could try. Oh, look at me putting deadlines on myself. We could try this Sunday night. I've got a late night live on Sunday.
There you go.
We may try it then.
And if I'm not at work, I will sit in the sidelines, not on the live, but I'll sit and message in.
I'm presenting Saturday, and then Sunday we could have a late night live.
Right. So now I have got my scape, like it's been done.
And with Joe's message.
If I pull this way, so I mean, listen, it looks really rough, right? And it's supposed to look rough. That's the idea behind it. We're not trying to rebuild, you know, the wall, so to say. Now that I've got that down and I've done my elements here, I'm just going to come in. Now I'm working upside down, so please just bear with. I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to put a little dark on that line, not too much. We'll go about midway to about there.
Joe says, Storage for Craft, Joe says, I've always been too nervous to use pastels, but watching Carla is making me want to try. Try, Joe. Try and send it to me, and we'll show it on Sunday, and I'll do mine as well.
Joe is so amazing. Like,
she's very talented.
Yeah, she is. She's an incredible human. I love Joe so much. Right, I'm just coming in with a couple of lines here. Nothing, again, to write home about. Just a couple of lines on the edges. All right, and I've got a little bit there. So nothing that you can't do, okay? It's just Just let me find a wet wipe. Hold on. Let me clean my hands off a little bit. Oh. Right.
Other wet wipes are available, by the way, in case anyone's watching.
I only have wet wipes because I got envy of Sharon Blooming Curtis, who's got, like, because she's a clean and tidy human. Now, where I've got those lines, they're obviously quite harsh, those lines. So you soften those out. So hands, not tissue this time. What I don't want to do is remove the lines. I want to keep some of it, but texturize it. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to gently rub those down. Now, if the color is too dark, if you've put too much pigment down, you can go in and reduce it, but you also have to trust the process because they're probably not going to be too dark. Okay. And I'm going to just bring some of that darkness into the wavelengths and just
Are we rubbing both ways, like backwards and forwards, or just one way, like a stroke inwards?
Boosh, just one way. Dush, dush, yeah.
Okay, so we're going from the edge to the middle.
Edge to the middle, and we're just bringing those kind of striations in. And I'm not going to worry too much about anything. Everything is cool in the gang, okay? So I'm starting to get now what would be classed as my moonlight coming through. So you can just sort of see it. In order to really, really accentuate that, I'm going to use my white crayon. And I'm going to come in. Now I'm going to do this twice, just to be clear. I'm going to come in with this. So I'm just going to very gently smoosh. Again, I'm not trying to make the color disappear. And I'm not even really trying to blend it because these would be ripples on the sea. So you do see them. But I'm going to get some color laid down first. So I've got that white. And then I'm going to come in again and add more. So this is where we start to get that real kind of sense of moonlight coming through.
Is less is more in this, do you think?
No, whack it on.
Oh, okay, whack it on.
But it's just, I mean, listen, I'm working upside down. I'm also working at an angle, so mine's not going to be precise. You'll be able to sort of focus more when you're at home. But now I'm just sort of blending. So remember how we did with the black lines when we did a bit on the in, and then I'm doing the same here. Okay. So I've done that. And now that I've got that focused, I can now start to decide that maybe I want to just reduce the black a little bit here. So then you can use this. So you're focusing afterwards. So look at the results that you've got and then work out what blend technique is going to be best. So because mine are a little bit heavy, I'm just going in with a bit of tissue. That's going to remove some of the pigment. And now I start to get those beautiful wave striations coming in. So can you see? Have I frozen again?
Oh, no, we're back.
So you've got those gorgeous, gorgeous striations coming in, right? So it starts to work and blend itself quite nicely. Then I'm going to take the white and I'm going to just start to, in a little circular motion, follow the line that I made with that pencil. Just bring all of this in. Can you see that? Okay.
Yeah.
So the waves on my shore. So then make those blend out. I'm going to use my hand again. So I'm just going to clean that finger so that it's not creating dark marks on my jeans, of course. And I'm just going to flick it.
Which way are you flicking?
Towards into the
sea.
Okay, so
that
just
would be
mark,
that way.
and that's going to bring the water.
Oh, it's the sea.
And that's the sea.
Lapping onto the sand.
The sand. Okay, so there's your waves. And then I'm just going to bring in.
Oh, I thought they were mountains.
Nope. I'm just going to bring in another.
Come on, people.
Blend that out.
£4.70.
£4.70 to be able to correct. You could actually
70 for a set of pastels.
That's the whole thing. So then we've got the second wave line that's coming in, because waves very rarely just come in as one. And I'm just going to highlight that up a little bit. So I'm just going to add some interference with the white, but I'm not actually going to blend that because that's my second wave line. And then I'm going to come in, same again, just highlight in some of those elements here that are just going to bring me that sort of more clear element here of where I want to be in terms of my waves. You see now I've got a full wave coming to shoreline. Simple, like there's nothing here that and nobody else can do. I'm not doing anything fancy here. Like there's nothing to write home about here. It's not massive skills. So then what I'm going to do now that I've got that, I'm actually going to remove my washi tape. So if you just bear with.
No, you're fine. I'm going to put the I'm literally going to spam all the chats wherever you're watching this with the link so you can get the 470 pastels. Look at that, people.
So now we've got our baseline coming through, right? And piece of washi tape, like it did the things. Let me try and move it so you guys can get a better view. So obviously, like I say, I'm working upside down. So you're going to have to bear with me because my brain doesn't work the best of, at the best of times. Black again, and I'm going to come in.
Oh, let's move this. Jennifer's got 2 sets of the pastels.
I'm going to draw a line here. Well done. And then I'm just going to do a squiggly line up there. And I'm just going to fill that in the black.
I missed that bit. I was reading Phil's comment. I missed that bit.
Well, there's not literally. You're just making a one line across and a squiggly line up.
Okay.
Right. And that's just going to, I'm just going to blend that out with my hand. You can do it with a tissue. It doesn't matter which. Just like so. Okay. And then, hold on. I'm trying to work upside down. So I'm trying to remember which way these will go.
Turn it around at this point. We get the gist. Now turn it around because we get the gist.
I'll just do 3 little lines. There you go. 4 little lines. And now I can be upside down because it's fine. Can you see there? Okay. Yeah. So now I'm just going to do a little one here. So you're just doing squiggles, but you want straightish lines at the bottom because obviously they're disappearing into the sea. Same again here. It doesn't matter what shape they are. Nobody's going to be marking you on your accuracy. And then this one, I'm just going to bring this up into the skyline a little bit. Okay. Like so. Little blend out on that one because it's quite a big one. I'm just going to smoosh these out a little smidge. Nothing massive.
Oh, what little one at the front looks like a sea lion.
Where are you looking? Down here. We'll just make sure he doesn't carry on looking like a sea lion. And I'm just going to straighten that out there. So now I've got these little mountainscapes inside the sea. Just doing the thing. Then I'm going to take some white because they would have waves coming up to them, of course. So because the sea would foam near the edges of these. So I'm just going to bring in a bit of foam.
I'm going to throw it open to the chat now while we're watching this. Would you like, as I said, I've got a big meeting after this. Would you like a pastel school?
Cool, right?
So we learn different images.
Pastels are incredible. So now that I've done that, we just have one final thing that we really need to do to kind of finish this off. And I'm going to take my white pastel now, and I'm just going to draw a circle. Okay. Then I'm just going to literally put a bit of color in that. I'm not going to go too hard, just about there. Okay. And then I'm going to take my hand on my finger and I'm just going to really smooth that out. Now, I'm not trying to keep it necessarily in a straight circle. I'm just blending and blending and blending because I want the halo of the moon. Okay. So now I've got that halo. And then I'm going to come in. Sorry about my camera keeps freezing. Hold on.
No, you're fine.
I'm trying not to move ahead, but you've seen where I've blended that. Hopefully this is going to sort itself out. There you go. And now I'm going to do another circle on the inside. And for this, I'm just going to gently smoosh a little bit and keep it in a circle. And that will be my moonscape just there. And off. So then you get to do the joyful bit, which is where we remove the washing.
Oh my days.
With obviously you would clean your hands first. Just remove and remove. And the final one.
Look at these people.
Yours is obviously not going to be upside down when you're doing that. So you'll have the advantage of having it the right way around when you're doing your bit. How can I straighten that? There you go. So that's your full moonscape. Done upside down, but done. 3 colours. It's 3 colours, Adam. Do you know what I mean? Like I've used a black, a grey, and a white. That's it.
Oh my day. Like genuinely the chat has gone mad for this. Lovely photo. Watching on the YouTube comments are turning off. What? Watching on YouTube comments are turned off on my tablet. Is it me? Oh no, I didn't want to keep putting them on the screen, Jennifer Lovely, because obviously it would have messed up the shot. Absolutely brilliant. You've got to give credit to Carla. So atmospheric. It is amazing. We are going to do this. I'm going to take you up on that challenge.
I learned this off a YouTube tutorial. This is not my, design or my idea. I just wanted to show you how easy it was. Like I'm not sitting here going, oh, this is my talent, my skill. I learned it from a tutorial because I was scared of oil pastels. But the point being is, of course, we can all do the same thing. And when you're talking about pastels and oil pastels, and this will go in for anything that you do. So Himi's layering, blending. If you take in, when you're talking about oil pastels, take in, hold on, let me get let's get a nice dark red and an orange. Let
me take that off.
So all it matters is, it doesn't matter whether it's a dark black sky, right? Or whether it's something else. Take your 2 colors. The bit that matters is when you're doing a full piece, what you really want to do is be bringing that in with your kitchen roll or your toilet roll and not your hand, because we're talking about a massive amount of oil pastel there, right? So we're not trying to find technique at this point. We're trying to find background. So if I want to make a background for a card, for instance, this is one of the easiest ways that I can make that background for a card, because a little bit of pressure here, and watch the blend come through. I mean, that's extraordinary. So now all I would need is, I don't know, I haven't got my oil pencil isn't, sharp enough. But if I was to then, put in some kind of winter tree or something along those lines, and just bring in the elements to it, you would be able to start using, all your pastels in different ways. And of course, once you've done that, you can bring in a cotton bud, because it doesn't work the same as pencils, of course, but you would bring in a cotton bud and start to just blend all of those elements out. So now obviously I'm not, particularly doing this properly, but this is what I mean. Like they're so beautiful and easy to use. And I think a really, really underused medium that we have at our fingertips to produce some incredible results with zero effort. Hey, Sharon Curtis. So, the whole point of doing something like this Seascape is not actually, like I say, I got it from a tutorial as well. But the whole point of doing that is that what you actually do is you start to stretch your competence, because you're stretching your fear. So if I'd have said to you, I want you to create that, and I hadn't shown you how simple it was, your fear factor is going to sit and go, I could never do that. But then
massively.
Some crayons like a kid, and simply by using my hands and by using a bit of kitchen roll, you suddenly have this amazing seascape, and that feels like you've made something, right? So it's about working against your own fears and understanding that different mediums provide so many complex and really wonderful alternatives to what we do. So I just wanted to show you that, like, listen, I hope it helps somebody. They've got oil pastels on at $4.70. I didn't know that they weren't at the right price when I saw them this morning. I swear on my kids' lives. I just said to Adam, can you put these on? Because I'm going to have a look at oil pastels. And Adam was like, yeah. Then he came back and he was like, there's been a mistake on the website. So they're not supposed to be that price, but they're going to give us it for today because we were doing this. So listen, we'll call it happy circumstance. But honestly, give yourselves the chance to create something really beautiful. Every time you create something that you're proud of, your confidence level goes up. And when your confidence level goes up, so too does your ability, because confidence is literally 90% of what we do. And allowing yourself that breathing, that's going to give you all the
it is phenomenal. So once again, if you want to get hold of these pastels, I am going to show you this message again. It's time stamped as well. I don't get into this office till 11 o'clock. I work from 11 till 1 my hours to work here for Craft O'Clock. So this was sent to me at 10 to 11. These are, so I sent the message, exactly the same message that Carla sent me this morning, saying I'm using these water pastels. I think it started A up, kid. I'm using these, mate. I'm using these. They're really, really good value for money. Can we get them on the show? I said, I'll email Kat. This is what Kat sent me back. Okay. So that said, they should not be at this price. The retail price is £9.65. They will be going back up tomorrow at 10.50 this morning.
Which I think is reasonable. Like, they are at a silly price. It is Sakura. We're talking about fine art. So, I mean, fair play. But if you can get them, well, they have got them at that stupid price, go for it. I didn't know that hobby makers sold oil pastels. I didn't even know that. I just happened to go on this morning because Adam had said yes about them. And I was like, no, let's allay that fear. They're not scary. They're really easy to use. You can do amazing landscapes in them and all kinds of things. So, you know, it's about stretching yourself. Now, one of the things I want to show you, and this is, I'm on my first ordered some.
We won't, Joe. Your secret's safe with us here. Your secret's safe.
We were talking about the Himis yesterday, and you know, Sharon she's so good. But I had said yesterday that I'm starting a hyper-realism flower with the Himis, and I haven't got very far, so you can't judge the whole picture because there's so many layers that need adding. So on most of it. But what I did want to show you about the Himis is how gouache has this really beautiful blendability. Now, the only bit that I've really been working on is the stalk. The rest of it, I'm just filling color in. Now, I did just want to show you the stem of this. Let me see if I can get that onto camera, and how you can get the realism going with Himis. Now, that's Himi gouache, and you're simply blending out and then adding a little bit of white space onto your florals using them. Like I say, I'm literally in the first scope of this, so there'll be like another probably 40 layers of paint that goes on top of that. Everything that we do, other than oil pastels, which has this really rich base anyway, everything that we do, doesn't matter whether you're working out with alcohol inks, pencils, crayons, everything works in layers, and everything is about introducing more and more layers to get depth of color and to also give you void in color as well. So I was talking to Adam. This isn't just me about showing what I've done, but
we're going to show these. These are amazing.
Yeah, to show you what you can achieve in terms of the simple stuff. Now, I've torn this because I'm a hopeless human and it's just been sat. But this is pencil crayons. So these are Fabers that I use, but that is pencil crayon.
Look at that, people. Look at that.
But you can see the pencil lines. I mean, it's literally about adding layers so you get your skin tone. Then where you've got these parts, that is actually coloured. But because it looks white, it looks like there's an absence of color, but there isn't an absence of color. That is still about 15 layers of color. Now, when you're working with colored pencils, what you do is you put down as many layers as you can on the tooth of the paper. And again, you would work with something like a cold press, and you keep adding and adding those layers. Now, once you get it to the color that you want, then you then start pressing hard on your pencil crayon, and that will bring you into a burnished look, which gives it that airbrushed look. And that's what you're looking for with that. Now, we can achieve the same results when we're working just in your normal pencils as in just, you know, a pencil. you know, add your layers, add your color. And that means we can get things like your fabric designs that come in, your hairlines that come in. All of this is simply done. I don't know if I'm better off holding it up that way.
Yeah, do you want me to make your camera bigger? Let me do that and that, and then it'll make it a bigger screen. There we go.
So when you start to, I've got a glare on it, but when you start to bring in, so you can get your fabric layers, you can get all of the bits in, and that's just using pencil. It's not, there's nothing fancy on that. It is simply pencils. So the reason I'm showing you that is to explain to you that when you want to do something that has this really beautiful finish on it, you're never going to get that unless you're willing to do your layers. And I think we don't get told that often enough. And so consequently, we go into a project and we do, you know, the outlines or whatever. And we go, well, it doesn't look as good as everybody else. I can't do this. I'm hopeless. I can't draw. I can't do this. It's because you haven't sat and done the layers. And the more you layer, the better it gets. And so with any art piece, you've got to go into it, and including just doing, if you're making a card and you're wanting to put some alcohol inks on a stamp in order to make that card, don't go into it thinking this will be quick and easy. Go into it going, I want to make the most of this. And so my shading needs to come in, and shading is done by layers and blending. But you get your baseline in, and you might put your base color. So say like we wanted a green, you might put the palest green in maybe 4 times. You build those layers, then a darker layer like your shadow. And then you might only do that once, but then you'll bring your light green back in and you'll blend that. So you'll pull that dark green back into the light green that you've been layering. And then you get a real pop of color. Does that make any sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. There's loads of questions coming in for you now as well. Janet asks, I've already got oil pastels. Will they be okay?
I'll be honest. I'm going to be totally straight with you, because, you know, hobby maker love it when I do this. It's not really about the oil pastels. Now, it does matter, but if you're getting Sakura ones, then they're going to be the best quality you can get anyway. The ones you've got to be fine. What matters is the paper that you're using. So if you try and do this on really smooth paper, it's going to screw you up really badly, because you're going to get pilling and it's not going to blend, and you're going to get really frustrated. You need something with a tooth. So you need some cold pressed watercolor. That's your best bet. You can buy that so cheap on the Zon, like, you know, you can get hold of it. Just make sure it's cold pressed, not hot pressed, and that will give you all the texture you need. What you're looking for is that tooth on the paper that's going to grab what you're doing and allow you to rub so these fibers don't pill.
If you watched yesterday's shows, basically goes against everything I said about the paper that I don't like. With all the, it's basically colouring on cobblestones. It's got to have that, like your Bockingsfords and things like that. It's got to have that real big tooth. I'm guessing to get into there.
I think you've got to understand hot and cold press paper. Hot and cold press are very different things, and they're meant for very different things. So they're not the same. You know, we go all watercolor paper, and we instantly think watercolor paper is watercolor paper, but hot press watercolor paper is not the same as a cold press. If I want to do a wash with watercolor, I need a cold press because I need that texture. If I'm not doing any washes and I'm just doing fine lines and I'm doing botanicals without a wash, then I need to have hot press because it's smooth and I can get crisp lines.
Joy, I want to touch on your comment if I can. That's amazing. I've always been useless at colouring. There's over 100 of you in this chat at the moment watching live. I want to know how many other people are in the same boat. How many of you think you are useless at colouring, and what medium are you useless at colouring at? I have a plan, but I need to back it up with facts. So when you say you're useless with colouring, is that with pencils? Is it with alcohol markers? Is it with what mediums are we talking about that you've got on here? Nikki, the question that you asked, if I were you, I'd go to Carla direct because I can't answer it on here. Carla, if people want to get in touch with you, how do they?
Just cut by hand, but it sometimes takes me a while to get back in touch. Facebook, cut by hand.
There you go. So Facebook, cut by hand is the best way to go, Nikki. Go that way because that's not a question for here. I can't help you on that one. Time is nearly beating us. Is there anything else you want to show me?
Yeah, I'm going to be really quick though, and I'm going to do it the right way around because it's just going to be quicker. So let's just say that this is the branch of a tree. Okay. Now, if I want to colour this, I'm not doing this neatly. We haven't got time.
No, you're fine.
Now, because we're working with gouache, I can add water and I can spread that colour. So I can actually get it to the depth that I want it to be. So the more colour I add, obviously, I'm not going to get that transparency. If I want it to be transparent, I can do that by adding more color. So if I come in here and add that, then I've got that full opacity. But actually, I don't want to work with full opacity. And why gouache comes in so handy is because as I water it down, I can spread the color. And as I spread that color, I get a paler aspect, which is what I want, because I'm going to keep layering that up. Now, under normal circumstances, I would have 8 or 10 layers on that. I'm not going to do that because we don't have time. I'll be really quick, Adam. I know we.
No, you're fine. I'm just reading the comments. People are just struggling with shading.
Yep.
I'm used to blending colours. It always looks like mud. Leave these with me. Leave them with me. I've got a plan.
When you're working with Himis, you're working with gouache, and so obviously you're working with something that can either be transparent or opaque. Now, a lot of us, because of when we're kids, we're taught to do everything in opaque. You want that full color. We want to work in layers. Now, under normal circumstances, I don't have time, but I would put about 5 layers of that color on top of each other with loads of water. So I'm watering it down every time. Why do that and not just do the full opacity? Because I want to control it. You're in control, and if I don't control it, I don't get the bits that I need. Now I pretend that's about 5 layers. I'm going to come in with a darker color here and a finer brush, and I'm just going to stem out on one side. Now I'm doing this relatively opaque, not massively, but relatively. Add a little more water, come in with a little bit more, just draw that down. Now you're going to be obviously more precise, but Himis are the way for this. Miss Sharon will tell you the same thing. Now, I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to lay that there. Now, I've got the 2 colors. Now, the thing about gouache is, so I've got the light. So the light's coming in here. This is causing a shadow because there is no light. There's a deficiency of light. So I've got the light source this side. Now, in order to then blend that, you've got 2 options. But the first and the easiest with Himi, bear in mind, you'd have more layers than I do. And my camera's frozen. Hold on. You'll do.
There we go, we're back.
Get your wet paintbrush, so not too wet, but damp, and start to go into that green and start to draw it into the light. So I'm brushing it into that light color. Then I'm going to wet my brush again, and I'm going to draw my light green down, and all of that will start blending in, and I will not have the harsh line that I started with. Now, I would be doing this maybe 4, 5, 10 times, and I would keep drawing. Keep bringing it in. You can come in with a dry brush. Dry brushes, also your best friend. Hey, that's not dry. And buff that. Okay, so you're keeping it moving. You are in control. Now, if you were working with a watercolor, you'd be coming into some problems here, because where this is really dark, I'd be stuck with it. But because I'm working with Himi and I've got that gouache, I can bring that in, I can activate it up, and I can start to blend out. Keep some dry brushes, keep some wet brushes, and move that paint, move your work. Now, obviously, I would be sat doing this very slowly, and I would be sat working on it for hours, but I haven't got those kinds of time to do that and show you here. And you'd have a lot more layers, but you can start to see, certainly from the top, how you start to get that very, very clear, realistic light source coming in from this side, and your shadow being at this side, but we are softening those lines, because there is no plant in the world that just has one dark green line, one light green line, and no blending in between. And that would be the same if it was a sunset, if it was a flower, if it was a human face. Doesn't matter what you're doing, the same rules always apply. And when we realize and we understand that, it makes life much easier. So I hope that helped.
Lady Bagshaw, you are phenomenal. You are amazing at what you do. Time has beaten us. You really are. You know you are as well. You really are. And you're a lovely person. Right. Thank you ever so much. You are a legend. You know you're a legend, and I love you too. I love you to the world and back. You know I do. Right. If you want to get hold of those pastels, get them now. The QR code is at the bottom of the screen and at the top of the screen now. They are $4.70 for today. The price will go back up tomorrow. So Kat says, and if what Kat says, Kat normally goes, to be honest. She would have wrote it on a pad. So that price will go back up. I am going to go away now. And I'm going to go and talk to Kat to see if we can get some schools in place, see if we can get some education in place. We've got all these tools at our fingertips, but some of us don't know how to use them. And I think that's where Craft O'Clock needs to go. That's why don't we guide you and why don't we teach you the skills that you've got on this one? And we all go, and as you said yesterday, I hate the word journey, but why don't we learn new skills? That's what we need to do. Let's learn all these skills that we've got on here. Lovely, you're a star. I will see you very, very soon.
And you, kiddo. Thank you, everybody at home.
You had loads of love in the chat as well.
You didn't see Walter.
Oh no, show us Walter. Quickly show us Walter.
Come on. This is
Cutest
he's
dog
the
ever.
star of the show. Come. Oh, he's really tired. He's like a sloth.
Oh no, Walter won't do anything. He was playing havoc earlier when we were prepping. There's little Walter.
Hey, baby.
There he is.
Hey, Walter.
I'm going to love you and leave you all. It's been a pleasure. I will see you Saturday on the telly at 5 o'clock, and I'll see you Sunday at 9 o'clock in the evening. Let's all get our water pastels out. It's not a euphemism. Let's get our pastels out. That we've oil pastels. Let's all get our oil pastels out. Way at 9 o'clock on a Sunday night. Oh, it used to be London's burning and soldier. Not anymore. We'll all whip out our oil pastels, and we'll let's all do it together. Let's all do it together. Adam, did you do the bingo? I'm on it. I mean, that's my next meeting now that I'm about to walk into.